everybody, welcome back. So today I'm doing the series review of the First Law Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. So the First Law Trilogy obviously has 3 books in it. The Blade itself, Before They Are Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings. I just finished this book in July, the last book, and thought it was a great trilogy. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. I guess there might be a couple, but I'm going to try and keep it spoiler free. So, my impression of the First Law Trilogy is that it starts with this kind of world that's really dark, and there's a lot of horrible things happening all the time. And out of that world, the author kind of put in these characters, and how would these characters respond in this type of world? Now, the first book, it's a little bit of a slower paced, which is fine. It just really is just to introduce you to the main characters. And the main characters are kind of where it shines, because each character has his own way of thinking and his own way of doing things. And the author really brings out, like, this is what this person would do in this situation. And he sticks to it. It's not like they just make decisions and things that they just to change or move the plot forward. These are decisions that seem natural for the characters to make in their given situation. So we follow Logan Ninefingers, who is a barbarian, and he has had some troubles with his clans, and let's just say he's not in the best position for that, but knows that he has to return there at some point and kind of make the choice of like what he's going to do with his life. He was probably one of my favorite characters. Like, his ideas of, like, this is what family is, this is what my life's about, and this is what I want out of my life. And sometimes it's very different from what I'm actually doing right now with my life. But I don't know if I can have the life that I want because of the life that's been placed before me. Then we follow Glokta, and he was the champion. He was the knight in shining armor, and something horrible happened to him, and now he can no longer be that. Now he is this twisted, not just twisted physically because he's now crippled, but he is also twisted in his heart and his soul, and he's become this kind of evil person who enjoys torturing people, and that is what he has become, as the torturer. And I liked him a lot, and I loved his character arc and how it all ended up. Glokta and Logan Ninefingers were probably my favorite characters in the book. And then you follow Giselle Dan Luther, and I liked his character arc as well. I kind of liked how it all turned out, and how the things that he wanted, he also wasn't able to get because of the life that was forced upon him. There were sacrifices he had to make to get to the things that he had. And some of those sacrifices were not ones that he wanted to give up. So the things that I thought Joe Abercrombie does well, like, his prose is really beautiful. And it's not too flowery. It's like the right amount. Because sometimes when you have really flowery prose, it takes away from certain things like action and stuff like that. But Joe Abercrombie is just kind of spot on. So that when he has an action scene, it's really good. When he has a torture scene, it's really good. And but it's also, like, really beautifully written. And where he also stands out is in his character work. Like, letting us as readers get to know our characters, get inside their heads and know what they're about, and know the things that they want out of life. But also know that they don't always get the things that they want, because the world is not a world that's accommodating for their hopes and dreams. Or sometimes things happen, and the traumas happen, and they make them into people that they didn't want to be, or the people that they... Like, I don't think Glokta was probably as bitter and cruel before what happened to him to cripple him as he was after. But it also made for a very interesting character. Like, how did his traumas affect him? So I don't really have a whole lot of negative things to say about the series. I guess I could say, like, the plot took a while to get to. Like, the first book just seems to be more like, these are the characters, this is the world, these are how these characters would live in this horrible world, and what would come of it. And then Second book starts to get more into the plot. Like, this is what we're about. There's some revenge going on. We've got to find this. This is what the first law means. So other than the three main characters, obviously there were also some good side characters. And, you know, they kind of, again, they had these ideals, these things that they wanted, but they were put in this world that wasn't necessarily the most accommodating for them to get there to reach their goals and have their dreams. And I guess I can see now why Joe Abercrombie is called the master of grimdark. It was pretty dark. The world was dark. Everything about it was pretty dark. So anyway, I love the series. Top rank. Some of my favorite books that I've read this year. I would highly recommend that you pick them up if that's what you're into. If you don't like grimdark, I wouldn't pick it up. If you don't like heavily character-driven novels, don't pick it up. But if you do, then pick this up. Or if you just want to see, and if you want to know if it's worth all the hype, I would say that absolutely it's worth the hype. I guess I'll say like the one criticism that I have, and it's like a really teeny tiny one, is at the very end. And there's like a little caveat for one of the characters. And I was like, really? But it wasn't that bad. It was just like kind of one of those little minor annoyances as to why I guess we can't follow the same characters in the future. Alright, so I do plan to pick up more by him. He's got more series and books in the First Law world. And I guess they follow some of the side characters. Hopefully some new characters. So I'll be excited to pick that up. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.